So welcome back to another episode of Spicy Tales with Kim and Stacy.
Hello.
Hello. We're back in the exact same clothes. You already know the vibe. Don't even come for us. You already know.
That's if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
If
you're not watching on YouTube,
forget what I just
keep vibing out. It's
Yeah.
fine. Don't worry about it. It's none of your business if you're not watching it on YouTube. So I'm gonna talk about my spicy tale. I'm gonna start off right off the bat, just cause might as well.
Yep.
My spicy tale is kind of shady, and I'm not gonna put any names out here because I'm not trying to expose people. So I'll be really nice. So my story is about a friend of mine who snaked me out and hooked up with the guy I was seeing in my little cousin's bed.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is in 2009. So I was like 19,
Yeah.
turning 20. No, actually, no, it's in 2010 because I was 20 by then. And so I'm dating this guy from Montreal. He was really nice, like...
Asian?
No, he's Jamaican.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so he's super chill, whatever. We start hanging out. And like at the time, I'm like living back and forth between Montreal and Ottawa because like I was going back and forth. And so I was in Montreal all the time. Our whole family lives in Montreal, so it was really easy. So we go to Montreal because that weekend, my cousin, who I love so much, got out of jail. So, we were partying, living our lives, having a great time. And then, so like everyone's at my aunt's house. We're all having a good time. And the guy that I'm dating is there with me. And then there's my friend from Ottawa. I'm going to call her Veronica. So Veronica, like, is the type of person who is a shady person and will sleep with everybody's boyfriend. But I didn't think that she would do that to her.
We always
real
think
friends,
that.
okay?
We always think that.
So basically, we go to, like, we're out, we party, whatever. We come back to my aunt's house, and she lives in, like, Terrebonne, which is, like, a little bit on the outskirts of Montreal. And she lives in this ginormous house. So we're all have, like, all my cousin's friends are there. I'm there with my friends and the guy that I'm seeing. And we're having a great time, whatever. Everyone's having a good time. And, like, it's like 3 or 4 a.m. at this point, and I am exhausted. Like, I'm like, okay, I need to go to bed. Like, I'm really tired, whatever. So I go into my aunt's room and sleep on her bed. I'm passed out, and like, whatever. Like, everyone's partying. I'm not gonna force the guy that I'm dating to come to bed just because I'm going to bed, right? Like, I'm like, okay, like, whatever. Hang out with my fams, like, whatever. So I go to bed. I wake up, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I wake up to my cousin coming in the room, and he's like, I have to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, like, what's up? And he comes and lays down beside me, and he's like being really weird. And like, anyone who knows my cousin is not the most affectionate person. So like, why are you being nice? Like,
That was his way.
no, literally though. Because like, usually him and I are very much the type that are like, let's fist fight. Like, let's just like beat each other up. So I'm like, why are you being nice to me? Like, are you like luring me into a false... like love so that you can attack me? Like, what's the vibe here? So I'm like being all weird, whatever. He comes in and he's like, I have to tell you something. He's like, I really hope you don't get mad at me, but like, I walked in on the guy that you're with having sex with Veronica in not only did they, it was on my little cousin's like bunk bed. Like,
Maybe
bruh,
it's more adventurous doing it there.
really?
Yeah.
Like, come on. So anyway, so he tells me this. I'm pissed. And I wanted to make a scene, but I'm like, I don't know. It's just not in me. I don't have that. I don't have the
And
energy.
why even waste your energy? Clearly,
Yeah,
this
like,
girl is not your
clearly-
friend, and this guy is a piece of shit.
100%. So I didn't even bother to say anything. But unfortunately for me, I was stuck with them both because they were like, we were all going back to Ottawa together.
Yeah, that's
Like, I have no choice but
Sorry.
and like I have no choice but to suck it up.
Yeah.
And so I get up out of bed. I go in the room. Sure enough, they're passed out in the bed. I'm like, oh, okay. So y'all
like, you guys didn't even have the decency to like wrap it up
Nope.
and then like pretend like it never happened.
condom on the floor, like wrapper just on the floor. I'm just like, wow,
Just
this.
careless.
I mean, at least you used the condom, I guess. I don't know, whatever. And then like we're supposed to be leaving.
How
So
long were you friends with this girl
afterwards?
at this point?
We had been friends for maybe a year. Like, we weren't like, she wasn't like one of
Your
my day
bestie.
ones. Like,
Okay.
she was just like, I had just met her. But, and then the worst thing happens, my aunt calls me and goes, hey, my daughter, so Shasha, is going to a party. Can you chaperone the party? Because like, it's the older brother's party and like the girls are going to be there. And like, at the time I was 19, so Shasha was what, 14? So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just go to the party. So unfortunately for me, fucking Veronica, and I don't care about this guy's name. His name is Jamal. Jamal, if you hear this, you piece of shit.
But not sucking your thumb, Jamal.
No, not that Jamal. Stace. No. Why would you?
Kim, get it together.
Okay, I'm good. I'm sorry. Anyway, so my aunt asks me to chaperone. So we go to this party. It's like a huge, massive blowout.
Yep.
And this girl is trying to talk to me the whole time. And I'm just like, bro, like, please.
So at this time, does she know that you know?
Of course she knows I know. I opened the door and I was like, what the F? And then he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I got really drunk, whatever. And she was like, oh my God, like, no, like, I don't even remember. I was like, bitch. Anyways, whatever. We go to this party. I'm chaperoning. I'm avoiding her the whole time. And then, like, she kept trying to talk to me. And there was this really hot guy at the party who, like, I don't know why, because I was very shocked. And he was, like, trying to chit-chat. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. You can get it. So then we're chit-chatting, whatever. And then she kept trying to, like, talk to me, trying to talk to him, like, trying to get in. I didn't talk to her. Eventually, like, we went back to Ottawa. And, like, I kind of just started to remove myself from that friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the worst thing is that, like, I lived with her and we met, like...
Oh, you lived with her?
At the time, yeah. And then we met Alicia and Jasmine at that point. So I kind of just started to, like...
Getting closer to
them. To them and just kind of, like...
Pushing her out.
Yeah. And then eventually we basically made
Ice her out.
We basically made her move out of her own house and we kept the house for ourselves.
Good.
So that was great.
Ugh.
I'm telling you, trash friends, bro.
She was hindsight is 2020, and she clearly was never your friend.
She was never my friend.
She was never your friend.
Oh no, never. She was also
you can't trust her around anyone.
She talked mad shit about me to the girls. Like when we all first met, like they were like worried about me, and then they were like,
and you met them through her.
Well, like we all met at the same time, but like they were like a few months later, they were like, "You're actually really nice," like, and I was like. Shit. And then they told me everything she said. I was like, yeah, none of that is true. Like, I don't know what she's talking about. And I was just like, wow, people really be out here, like, trying to sabotage your character just because they don't, for no reason. Like, I've never done anything to this girl. I was always nice to her. We were together all the time.
Is she the reason I feel like iPod disappeared? Is it that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is the reason your iPod disappeared.
Yeah. My one iPod Touch.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, she is and the worst thing is her parents were fucking loaded. Like, what the hell? Like, her parents were rich as hell. She drove your freaking Chrysler 300 with 22-inch rims on it. Blackout windows. Every time we would drive in the car, we'd get pulled over because her windows were too dark.
Too dark, yeah.
Like, there was no reason for her to be a hater. She also slept with everybody else's boyfriend, too, so.
Like, everyone's gonna hate. You're gonna have to keep making new friends because eventually we're gonna figure out who you are and you're gonna have to leave or we're just gonna ice you out. So,
bro, I remember her mom. When I met her mom was like, "You're so nice. Like, how are you guys friends?" And I was like, "What the hell?" Like,
you know when the parent is warning you about kid?
Also, mom did warn me about her because one time
and mom always knew.
She came to our house and she had been there for like 4 days, and mom's like, "Okay, but where's your family? Like, why are you still here?" And I was like,
she's rich. I don't understand.
I don't know, man. She lived with her uncle, so like she didn't really give a shit. And mom was just like, I don't like her. Every time, mom would say like the worst thing.
I think I've seen her one time. I really don't remember her that
She's not a good person, but.
Well, thank God she's out of your life.
Thank God, right? It's been a long time. I haven't seen her since like 2011, I think. Alicia saw her recently, like a year ago at Walmart.
How is she doing?
Who? The girl?
Yeah.
Alicia didn't talk to her. She walked the other way. She saw her and she pretended like she didn't. She just put her hood up and kept walking.
I hate when you see people like you don't really fuck with.
It's always at the worst time that I see people that I don't fuck with.
Yeah, I try to avoid people all the time.
Yeah, same. And I thank God for me because I have great vision. So like I can see someone from a mile away.
I'm really thinking of getting the LASIK.
You should.
I really want to.
You should. I mean, it makes sense.
It's like $4,000 though.
I mean, I know that work pays a bit of it, but not a lot.
And you, obviously I would do a payment plan, but that's just, I'll wait till.
Okay, this is probably not very on topic, but you said payment plans, so whatever. Okay, I have an issue, and I don't care who hears this because at this point, all y'all need to fucking hear it. Though, people need to talk about etiquettes of borrowing money.
Oh, God.
Because, listen, and I'm not trying to be a hater. Like, I understand that sometimes you got to borrow some money. It's not that deep, like, whatever.
I've done it several times.
But the thing is that, like, if you tell someone you're going to pay them back on that day, pay me back on that motherfucking day. Because how dare you not pay me back and then I see you living your best life? Why are you not struggling?
Why are you spending my money?
No, literally. Like, why are you spending my money?
And these are the same people that if it was
the other way around.
Exactly. They would be on your ass all the time. Like you said this day. When I owe people money, the second I get my money, I give it back because, like, I don't want you thinking about me like exactly all the things that you're saying, like, why are they living their best life? And like these people go ghost too. Like, they don't contact you, nothing. They probably owe a bunch of people money.
It's like I want to talk about a specific experience, but I don't want to expose anyone.
You don't have to expose them.
No, I mean, like, they'll know I'm talking about them.
Okay.
They'll know it's about them.
They're a watcher. Thanks for watching.
I mean, I don't know, but I know for a fact that if I put... Anyways, whatever. Fuck it.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Well, subscribe, like, comment, and download our episodes. Yes, TikTok as well. I really love TikTok. And to download our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, no, this girl was like the type, like, to the point that, like, she asked me to borrow money and I have to contact her spouse for my money back. Like, that's messed up.
So we grew up with a girl. I'm gonna just call her Fifi because I don't know if she wants the smoke, but like, okay, fine, Tiff, love you. We grew up with this girl named Tiff, and honestly, just Ottawa in general. And if you were raised like not in the suburbs, we were raised in South Keys, and there's like everyone. There's Indians, there's Somalians, there's Lebanese, there's Ethiopian, there's Chinese, there's Philippine, like there's everyone is like, there.
You're very
Cambodian,
much
you're
very much in a melting pot.
Haitian, Nigerian, all of them. We're all there. We're all chilling. And then there's the whites. Like, we don't really care what the background is, but there's the Scottish, there's the Irish, there's the English. Like, everyone's here. Okay. Yeah. And so we were raised with Tiff. She was our neighbor, and she's just a Canadian. And she was raised with us. And when we would get in trouble, she would get the beatings. Yep. She would eat the food. She would sleep over. She was there when there was like shit popping off at our house. She was there. She saw it all. She was raised by a Haitian woman. Yeah. Okay. Facts. And when she came over like a few weeks ago, she was basically saying that you can't tell me I'm not black. This is a blonde hair, blue-eyed girl.
Yeah, she's like the whitest girl ever,
girls,
too.
That you can't tell me I'm not black. And I honestly couldn't say shit to her because I fucking agree with her.
And I agree with her too. And I was like, this brings up the subject that like there are certain people who like obviously on the outside they don't look it, but they've experienced the culture and that's all they know. Like they literally were immersed and grew up in it, and to them that is very much part of their culture.
And they're not even the type of people that are like, oh, like I don't know that I'm privileged. Like they acknowledge that they have privilege, but they also agree and acknowledge that they were right beside you shooting in the gym. They were there. Yep. So like I honestly like it made me question like, what is black exactly? Like, what is black? And honestly, like, the white people back in the day, like, it's just a social construct. They just wanted to divide the people because at the end of the day, we're all just human beings.
Facts.
But, like, and there have been people that are lighter than me or white people that have literally been like, Stacey, you're not black, you're whitewashed. Like, you're not black enough. Or like, I'm sure people, they probably ask you like, what are you mixed with? Like, my sister's full black. And people probably like looked at her and be like, oh, she's probably mixed with something else.
The thing is that like the worst part is like the majority of the like, I don't want to say hate because it's not really hate, but like the weird comments I get are usually from black people. Like it's black people that are like, oh, like what are you? I'm like, I'm Haitian. And they're like, but what else? I'm like, I'm literally Haitian. Like my parents are from Haiti. Like they were born there. Like I don't know what to tell you.
If you're half black and you present as like ambiguous, they'll be like, yeah, like you could either be passing white. So like technically it just really made me question, like, what is black? Because there are full black people that are darker skin, like me, for example, that would go to a mixed race person and being like, you're not black because you're not full black. So is that what that means? Like, you're black only if you're full black, but then it's like, your genes could be black, but your phenotype, like the way the genes got expressed, like you're light skin or you have like different textured hair, different features.
Even our mom is like super light. She's got like hazel greenish eyes. And she used to be a ginger when she was a kid.
And she was born in Haiti. Yeah. And people would hate on her. And like,
oh yeah, I felt bad for her because she once told me, she's like, I was hated on in Haiti and then I came to Canada and they hated me here too.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just didn't understand what's going on.
Can I get a break here? So I was just like, yeah, like what really is black? And like sometimes I'm not gonna lie, because black is, there's so many different versions of black, and if you were to ask one black person what black is, they would have a completely different answer than someone else that's black. And like there are mixed people and they identify as mixed. There are mixed people that identify as black. There are mixed people that are like, I don't know, like they're insulted by you even asking what it is. And like I also watch a lot of people that are mixed, because I have noticed like our world is even more diverse, even more mixed now. So like a lot of people that I watch online, they're mixed and they look mixed. Like you kind of know like that typical mixed look. And like they might have like looser hair texture or like more like Eurocentric features. Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, oh, like I identify as a black woman. And like that's when you have to take in the information, like, yeah, like shit, you easily could. And these are people with, back in the day, I used to say wild shit, okay? Like these are people that were raised.
Let's not start saying wild shit.
These are people that were raised with their white mom. Yeah. Like to me, I was a hater back then. I'm sorry, but like to me, you weren't black if you're mixed and you were raised by your white mom. Or you weren't black if you were mixed and you have a white mom, period. Because I was just like, to be black, you have to be raised by a black woman. And just stupid shit like that, because I was just ignorant as hell.
But to be fair, I think it's because of the way that we've experienced different people. Like Katie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Katie, our cousin Katie is mixed, but her dad is white. She was raised with her black mom.
Exactly.
So, like, to me, she is a black, like, she's black.
And it's more because of what she was raised, like, her culture. So
but if she was raised with both, what would you have said?
Well, she would technically, this is another argument. Like people that are mixed race should technically they're not black or white. They're mixed. Like they're two different things.
I think the only thing that really, like, to be honest, the only thing I kind of feel like people don't seem to understand, and I don't say this in hate, like I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that, but when you're a mixed kid and like you look mixed, like you look not white, basically.
Or not full black.
Yeah, like, the thing is that at the end of the day, when people see you, they see you as a black person. And or that's just, like, white people are never going to look at a person that looks like my sister and be like, that's a white girl.
Right.
They're going to be like, she's black.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter if you have a quarter or whatever. And like, that's fine. Like, you can identify however you want, but you need to know that how the world sees you.
But that's
the difference.
I think that's why like being black is a mixture of things, because it's like, it could be your genetics, it could be how you identify, it could be how other people identify you, and it could be like your culture, like how you were raised. And so yeah, when our white friend was literally saying like, you can't tell me I'm not black, I'm just like, yeah, like I honestly like that was just so deep to me, because I'm just like, yeah, like I've been questioned about my black art, and I'm full black, look black. There's never been a question. Then there's my sister who also agreed with her, has probably been mistaken as mixed.
Oh my God.
Throughout her whole entire life.
Is, like, I don't really care if you ask me what my ethnicity is. It doesn't bother me. It's when people assume my ethnicity that annoys the crap out of me.
Or just comments like, you're pretty for a black girl, or you can't possibly be full black because like you're pretty.
Bro, I was at a party once, and this girl came up to me and she's like, so, like, you're half white? And I was like, no. Like, first of all, I didn't even get a chance to answer because Kayla was like, bitch, I'll come over this table. Like, don't ever talk to my friend. And I was like, girl, it's not that. I'm like, I'm black. And she's like, okay, but like, you're not full black. Like, she just wouldn't let it go.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know how else to tell you that I am black. Like, would you like me to bring both my parents?
But then
and you can analyze them?
But
like,
it
I
also
understand.
pisses me off because then there are white girls that date black guys.
Yeah.
Who feel like they're more black because like they've been around black people all their lives. They could cook better than black people.
Don't even get me started. Why would
they know
you
all the music? Like they know the culture, so they're black. They have a mixed child. You can't tell me I'm not black. I have a black child.
I literally saw a TikTok of a white mom saying this, and she's like, there's something wrong with you if you think that having a black children brings you closer to being black. At the end of the day,
You'll
doesn't.
never understand.
Like, it doesn't give you the pass to do certain things. It doesn't give you pass to say the N-word. And as a parent, you should be ashamed that you didn't learn how to take care of your black kids. Because when I see white moms with their little girls or their little boys and their hair is rat-a-tat-tat, they're ashy as hell, like, to me, I'm like, okay, I get it that like you were into whoever you were into and you had a baby,
Right.
but it's your responsibility as a parent to figure out how to take care of your children.
100%.
Because it's not fair that your kids out here walking around with a damn rat's nest in their hair while you look all nice because you don't know how to do black girl hair.
Yeah.
That was you should.
I saw a lot.
It pisses me off because it's like, and even listening to like mixed kids, the way they talk about their experience, and like how some of their family's racist or like things like that. Like, why would you do that?
But then there's the opposite where it's like you have a white mom. Like I have a friend who's dating a guy and his mom is white. He's half Jamaican. And his dad wasn't in his life. Like, he didn't want to be in his life. And so, like, this guy was raised in the suburbs, looked at as a black man, and he's not really sure what that means because he's not connected to that side of his family. And, like, that's also sad because, like, he wanted to know.
The thing is, like, and I agree with you, that's really sad and it's really shady. Like, it's a shitty thing of his dad to have like walked away, whatever. But as a mom, why wouldn't you immerse your child in that culture? It's part of their culture. It's just, you're not doing your kids any favors by like only exposing them to what you're exposed to because you know that they have another side to them that they should be aware of. It's not right.
I agree, but then it also shows that like black is a lot of different things because growing up in like the suburbs and like white people are seeing you as the black guy, like he was that like preppy black guy and he was still a black guy, and if people were to ask him like what he is, like he would still say that I think because he wasn't raised with his dad, he was more inclined to say like I'm mixed instead of saying I'm black. But like he did reconnect with his dad like in the past year, and like he's been saying more and more frequently that he's black because he feels like more confident, because it is like I'm sure an insecurity of him to be looked at as the black guy, and he's just like what does that even mean?
Yeah.
So like
for sure.
I feel for him because we all know a black guy that was either like very whitewashed or like very nerdy, or he was mixed but he was raised with his white family, and like it's not his fault that he's not like the typical black like gangster, whatever the hell you stereotype you want to say. Like people are multifaceted. They don't just come in like one
box.
Exactly. So like black people are a lot of things. They're light skin, dark skin, mixed. Like it's a lot. Look at freaking Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
This girl literally said that I didn't have the black experience, even though she had a black mom. She didn't have the black experience until she married into the royal family. Because even I didn't know. I watched Suits. I didn't know that she was biracial because she's like a heavy white passing woman. Like she looks, or just ambiguous woman. Like you don't really know what she is.
Yeah. And
to know that like your mom is black, but like it must be so interesting being mixed and like kind of passing, or just being mixed in general, and like kind of hearing what white people say behind closed doors, because like they are close to enough to you to be like, okay, like you're kind of one of us, but at the same time, like they're really exposing like their true colors. Obviously these are racist, but even my boyfriend, like he went through that too because he was raised in a white community. He experienced more racism as a mixed child versus me, who's a dark-skinned woman, like if he was raised in Ottawa, he would have been the guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. And he's tall, bro.
And like people would have been falling.
You would have been fighting them off
exactly.
like a stick, bro.
So I'm kind of so happy that he was not raised here, because like
honestly,
he would have been a different man.
Oh my God, facts. He would have been he would have been one of the mandem.
He really would have been, because like mixed kids, when I was growing up, mixed kids were like the hot commodity, okay?
Well,
like
not for me.
They were girls, guys, they love themselves. A little mixed girl. I mean, me too. I love a dark-skinned man.
Me too.
I'm not gonna lie, I love a dark-skinned
I feel like and it's so funny, like the most of the time when it comes to like, I always get hated on by black guys. It's always black guys that hate me. I'm like, why? Like, why can't we be friends?
But do they hate you because you're like...
They always like make comments like, "Oh, you think you're better than me because you're light skinned?" I'm like, I literally don't.
I hate that this like we're almost done in 10 minutes, but that's a huge thing that, like, for example, there's colorism, which is like basically discriminating against darker people.
Yeah.
And there's like privileges to the lighter skinned people. And this happens in like different races. Like,
yeah, like it's not just black and white.
Asia,
Indians,
in India, like this happens everywhere. Brazil, everywhere. But it's like there's the colorist thing where darker people feel like lighter skinned people are privileged. But then there's like a ripple effect that happens where, because you're like a darker person internalizing this, you project pretty aggressive. And I've heard of a lot of light-skinned people, mixed people talk about how they were bullied because they were light-skinned, they were mixed, they had certain features that darker skinned people, I don't know, were like envious of or jealous of or insecure of. And yeah, they would be bullied.
In high school, like I once had a friend of mine, and this girl is like, she was beautiful, okay? Like she was probably one of the prettiest girls in our school. And she was dark skinned. And one day she literally told me, she's like, if I was your color, I would be the perfect woman. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I think you're... Also, like, we have a very, like, our mom is very light-skinned, but our mom is very pro-black. Yeah. Like, she's never raised us to look at other black people and question anything just because they were a little bit lighter or a little bit darker. So, like, for me, I never even thought of it like that until I got older and people started saying things to me like that. Like, it only started happening when I got to, like, 7th and 8th grade, because prior to that, like...
Well, listen,
no one really cared.
Even though my sister is full black and... she's very like, she just cares about people, not what you look like. As the dark-skinned person in the family full of light-skinned people that are full black, I had internal struggles because I was just like, there were times where I wish I was white because I'm just like, life would just be easier. And then there were times where I wish I was light-skinned because I'm just like, well, my whole family is light-skinned, and I would just see like the way people would look at lighter skinned people, and I'd be like, I wish I was light skinned.
I never knew that you felt like that. I actually never knew that.
Like I was just like,
that's actually really, like, that actually makes me really sad because like for me, like I never thought anything different. Like to me, we're sisters. And even like there was a time when somebody said something and they were like, oh, like so and so is prettier because she's light skinned, and I was like, I don't think that's true. Like I definitely am one of your biggest fucking fans. I know, I think and I say this to you all the time. I love your skin color. I say I've been saying this since we were kids. Like especially in the summer, like you look so smooth. Like it just looks so like.
I also just came back from Mexico
right now, but I'm just saying in general. Like I always thought dark skin was beautiful. And like, the darker, the more beautiful to me.
The thing is, a lot of times you want what you can't have kind of thing. So I completely understand. Like I have curly hair. There were many times in my life where I wish I had straight hair.
Yeah, obviously.
Or like darker eye color and wishing to have lighter eye color. And maybe it's just because like these are people that I look up to. This is my mom. This is my older sister. So I'm just like, they're light skinned, so I want to be light skinned kind of thing. But obviously, like as you grow up, you just learn to love yourself and realize that like this conditioning happened like way back when. Like literally back in the day, the darker people would work outside in the field and the lighter skinned people would work inside because they were closer to the white people because the masters literally raped them. And
literally,
so they were
like
next to kin, you know, even
Yeah.
though like
You're
even
not
though you're
kin.
still black.
You're not kin, but you're kind of, you can work in the house.
So it's like it goes back, it goes so far back. And even when you would watch music video, like the main girl would always be a light skin or a Latina. Like that's another thing, the Latinas too. Like I would, in middle school, I'd be like, oh my God, if I was Latina or like if I was mixed or if I was light skin, whatever, because I just noticed that a lot of the guys would love those kind of girls. But then at the same time, if there was a light-skinned guy, I'd be like, oh my God, this light-skinned guy. So it's like we're still feeding into this narrative at the
also
same
like
time.
it didn't help that because we don't look alike, like our whole lives, like people never believed that we were siblings.
Yeah, like my sister and my brother look like my mom, but I look just like my dad.
Yeah, you literally look like
so like they look, even my boyfriend looks more like my mom.
Yeah, like sometimes it's so funny because sometimes our boyfriend's at the house and my mom will like think it's my brother.
Like I look like my boyfriend's dad's daughter, and then he looks like my mom's.
He looks like he's one of the fam.
Yeah, so I'm just like, it is tough. I get the struggle as a dark skin, and I get the struggle of being mixed. Because listen, one thing that I was very proud of is being full black, being full Haitian. Like there was no confusion. I'm black and I'm Haitian. Like there's no like, oh, I'm like half this or a quarter of this. Like I knew exactly what it was. And when you looked at me, you knew exactly what it was. So I could just imagine like the confusion and like the identity crisis. Like we're already going through shit when we grow up, like identity crisis. And like to be mixed race, like it is definitely like, even sometimes when I would think of a partner, I would think like, I just wouldn't completely know the struggle of raising like a mixed kid.
Yeah, but even now, I feel like I don't think, like I have a lot of guy friends, and a lot of my black guy friends are like they have different experiences than we have. Like I can honestly say, like I can count maybe on one hand like any negative like experience I've had with any other person of race. Like I've never really like even like with police officers or whatever, like I've never had a negative experience with police. I've never walked into it.
That's probably because we're women too.
That's another thing. Like that's what I mean. Like I'm just saying, like there are so many different factors that might be the reason why we might not have had the same experience as another black kid. Like some of our cousins that live in the States, like we don't have the same experiences because we live in Canada and we live in Ottawa, which is one of like a very diverse place.
Right.
And like even when we moved to Canada, like we had one instance with like kids being fucking racist.
Oh my God.
And our principal, like they took care of that shit like that day. Like they were not, it was like a very zero tolerance
for bullying,
racism, anything
even
like
though
that.
there was plenty of racism happening, but like they did what they could.
But like if they was reported, like they handled that shit right away. Like there was a lot of times that we just didn't care enough to like report it. Like I don't give it. You want to be an ignorant, like I might knock you out, but like you won't catch these hands, but like that's on you. But like I don't feel like I feel like the black experience as a Canadian girl is not the same experience for any other black person in the world.
I agree.
Like our experience, even other people from like even like being darker skin and being like Indian or whatever, like I don't think that experience living here is the same as it is like back in India, because or even back in Haiti. Like I think that I would have been treated worse back in Haiti than I was here.
Well, you definitely wouldn't be financially in the same situation.
It'd be rough. Haiti's out here struggling. Pray for Haiti, bro. Pray for Haiti.
And listen, this is not just a black experience because, like you said, Indian, like there are Indians darker than me. Like Sri Lankans darker than me. And like
there's Filipinos that are darker than I am. Like
so,
there's
like,
Latinos that are darker than us.
I'm sure a lot of people have shared struggles of like the dark skin versus light skin, colorism, all that stuff. So respect. And that's listen, we talked about Chris Brown last episode, but like if anything, that's one of the main reasons why I don't fucking mess with him anymore, because like
also
hater.
You know who else I'm not a big fan of? I know we only have 3 minutes. A$AP Rocky's another one who made some weird comments about dark skinned women.
A lot of people
First of all, A$AP Rocky is a dark skinned woman. How dare you? Like, how dare you?
Honestly,
you're gonna hit on your own?
I feel like what grinds my gear the most is when dark skinned guys comment on dark skinned women, knowing that their own mother is dark skinned.
Yeah, that to me I'll never understand, because I'm just like, ugh.
But I'm assuming obviously it comes from somewhere. They obviously had an experience. Like there probably was a dark skinned person that was not the nicest to them, and they internalized that or whatever, generalized.
There's white people that are mean to me, and I'm not gonna hate all white people because one white person was rude. Like, get over it.
I agree, but yeah,
a lot of it is self-hate. Anyways,
it is a lot of self-hate.
Like, I feel like a lot of that is just self-hatred, because if you're out here hating on your own race,
yep,
like there's something wrong with you.
Yep. Even though
it doesn't
change
such
thing as race.
It doesn't change that I wouldn't date a black guy, but like, you know.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I know joking. It was heavy, but like I said, check out our Instagram, our TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.